This video is part of a series on beginner number sense tricks. Today we're going to be looking at how to convert this expression here into a mixed number. Now obviously most of the time you'd want to write this as a squared divided by b. However, on the number sense test they do ask you to specifically write this as a mixed number, and that's where the formula on screen really comes in handy. So I should specify that usually this first part of the formula will give you the whole number, and then this second part of the formula will give you the fraction part of your answer. However, there is a special case where that might not happen, and you have to be very conscious of it. So for now, we're going to look at it as just a sum, but just be aware that usually the formula uses the first part as a whole number and the second part as a fraction. The way I remember it is I think of the a minus b pieces of this formula as the difference between the two numbers in our expression. And just be conscious that this difference can be negative. If b is bigger than a, then this difference will be negative. If you guys want the proof for how this formula comes about, the proof is in this little box right here, so you can go ahead and analyze it and take whatever you need from it. But I'm not going to go over that. I just wanted to include it just in case anyone was curious.
All right, let's look at some examples. So the main thing you want to do whenever you look at these problems is you want to start off by working on a fraction first. And obviously, it is tempting to start off by writing the whole number, but you'll see why in the third problem, doing a fraction is actually more important. So we want to go ahead and look at the difference between a and b, which in this case is -3. And -3 squared divided by b, which in this case is 34, will be your fraction as long as the numerator is not bigger than your denominator. In that case, you just get 9 over 34, and you're good. From there, you go ahead and work on the whole number, because obviously at this point, you didn't have to carry anything. So you just have to do 31 plus the difference, which in this case is -3. So in other words, I'm subtracting 3 from 31 to get 28 as my whole number. For the second one, it's the same vein. The difference here is just going to be -3, so very similar problem. You get -3 squared over 17, so you just write 9 over 17 as your fraction. And for the whole number, you just want to add that difference to the 14. So 14 plus -3 will give you 11, and you're good. Now the last question is really going to emphasize why we want to go ahead and work on the fraction first. If I take the difference of 22 and 29, I get -7. And so the fraction part of our answer seems to be 49 over 29. But this is too big. This is too big. So what you want to do instead is subtract your denominator from your numerator to force this to be a mixed number where you have a whole plus whatever was remaining, which in this case would be 20 over 29. All I did is I converted that into improper. And you want to write down that fraction that's left over, because that's going to be the official fraction for this problem. In this case, you're going to carry a 1. So be very careful. When you do that step, you want to make sure you do the fraction first. And if the numerator is bigger than the denominator, you want to just carry over however much you need. Now we go to the whole number. The whole number in this case is going to be 22, where when we add the difference to that, which is -7, we're going to get 15. However, don't forget the +1 from the end that we had to carry. So that gives us 15 plus 1, which is 16. So our whole number is 16. So again, the big idea here is that usually the whole numbers and the fractions can be represented by the formula that I gave you all up here. However, every once in a while you will run into a few problems, so you have to make sure you work on the fraction first before you mess with anything else. But that's it. In the next videos, I'll be going over a few more of these special tricks that do pop up consistently. All right, until next time.